Alright, so I'm no content creator and I'm not creating this for views or anything like that. But I wanted to make a little list of what I think Borderlands 4 needs to do to make the Borderlands community happy. And this doesn't just apply to the Borderlands community. This would apply to everybody that's enjoying the video game. And some small improvements that I think they can make. This is not a complaint video. This is not meant to be negative. But I wanted to go through a quick list of things that are maybe not obvious. There's obviously some things that we can do with balancing the game and skill points for characters and buffs and nerfs and a bunch of small stuff that we know they're going to do anyway. So I'm not bringing those up. But the first concern I have is we have these suicider psychos. I'm not going to do a cut video and show things. It's going to be a one-cut thing. But there's suicider, what do they call these things? Rippers or whatever? And the suiciders ignore health gate. And even when you kill them from, say there's a suicider right here, and you kill them, and you're right here. This suicider will still kill you. I don't know if it's because they roll a random mod of what grenade they're holding. I don't believe so, because they always appear to be non-elemental. But when they die, they drop their grenade, and it'll bounce, all the way to you, and it seems to always bounce towards you. So even though you kill a suicider right here, their grenade can still bounce to you and kill you through health gate. Now, I wouldn't think that this would be the case in the game programming, and seems to be an intended coded thing. Like I would think they would have had to gone out of their way to code the grenades from an enemy killing you through, full health, full shield through health gate. So if you don't know, Borderlands is supposed to have a health gate. Once you go, if you're above a certain health percentage, let's just say you're at full health, it's supposed to be a prevention mechanic to prevent you from being one shot from one particular hit from a bullet, and I'm guessing maybe it doesn't apply to grenades. So it brings you down to, I don't know, was it like 10, 15, 20% health? So it stops you from being one shot. So that doesn't seem to be applying with suicider psychos, let's just call them. And, there's plenty of arenas like full of them and stuff like that. It's not a huge deal, but the suiciders need to not kill you through health gate. So that needs to be fixed. So that's number one here. Talk about enemy modifiers. I know people complain about them. I'm not like a huge person about complaining about particular modifiers or whatever. Hold on, let me take a sip of coffee. Oh, sorry, just woke up. But there's some modifiers that don't work with the ethos of the video game. So I believe it's called Elemental Eater. So there's enemies that heal when you damage them with a particular element. Say there's like a shock Elemental Eater guy here, and my build, well, it's kind of not the best example, but say I'm playing Harlow, and I apply radiation to everything I do, and no matter what I do, what gun I fire, or whatever, I'm doing radiation damage at all times, or I'm doing bonus fire at all times, or you're doing the bonus cryo that Harlow has. So no matter what, all these characters have these like bonus elements, right? Some of them are on at all times, and some of them, say Rafa here, he does a bonus incendiary, so he's gonna be doing this pretty much with like, not with everything, but with everything. They get bonus cryo and bonus shock. Since he's got so many mixes of elements, he doesn't have as big of a problem, but the ethos of the game with these characters having these bonus elements or being committed to this element or this build, elemental eaters, enemies just absorbing all that damage and completely like stopping any players from being able to play all the intended setups and characters and builds and whatever. It just doesn't work with the ethos of the game. You can't have elemental eater. It's not a thing that should exist, so it should be removed or reprogrammed or rethought or what have you. Whatever you want to do, but that modifier, ethos, Does not work at all with the video game. It just doesn't function, right? All right, so the next one we got here are a personal complaint of mine is that these grenades do not have enough personality, as in the part programming system. I like the parts, but they don't seem to have a purpose in the game. It doesn't seem to be because grenade damage is too low or anything like that. But any purple grenade don't have an identity. The only purple things that have identities are knives, not the broken knife. I use this thing most of the time. Pretty fucking good. The singularity actually does damage. And another singularity. And that's basically the only grenades I found that do anything. Stuff like the order grenades, they have a homing part. And you know how we had the cloning mending tracker in Borderlands 3. I'm not saying we need that here, but with order grenades that have homing parts, they don't actually work from the MIRVs. So you get like homing part, you know, an order grenade that'll say, like, there's an order grenade. Grenade, home in on nearby enemies. It's only the grenade itself, and I haven't found any parts that actually follow the same logic. So I'll throw the one grenade and the one grenade will spawn them. But say if this said like MIRV and mini MIRV or something like that, none of the MIRVs are gonna home into people. So even the ethos of like order, like the whole concept of an order grenade doesn't work because the parts aren't even behaving in ways that I believe they should. So I think there's some parts on grenades that we need to relook at and think how they are operating. Like bouncing grenades, really? Are you sure that's what you want it to be? I think there's something needs to be done with grenades to give them a personality. There's nobody going out there and picking up anything and using it. And there's no purple grenade to chase besides the broken thing that we're gonna fix. There's nothing that feels good or that works really well. So something about these grenades, I believe, need to have some personality to them, some reason for anybody to want to go and chase them, pick them up. No identity for grenades. And I feel like that's a huge missed opportunity. I know people don't like using grenades in different Borderlands. I'm a huge grenade guy. I did a lot of grenade stuff over, you know, like 4,500 hours in Borderlands 3 and previous Borderlands games. Another thing is I believe on a level 30 character, you should give us all the hubs, all the main hubs, you know. Just if you zoom out here, there's a couple main hubs, I guess. Are they these icons? You know what I'm talking about. The big main cities here. I feel like you should unlock the main city in each area or whatever. Like you wouldn't get Moxie's Bar, but maybe you get Carcadia on a level 30 skip. Just give us Carcadia, give us one in this region, wherever the hell the thing is. Even if it's Sanctuary, you want to give us Sanctuary for free, that's fine. You know, you get this over here. There you go. You get the 3 main hubs. And you don't need to give us any of these. Even though that would be nice. You can wait for the story for that. So give us like some hubs for a level 30 skip. Let's see. Oh man, I just sold this thing. I wonder if I have one on my bank still. I probably do. So this is a bug I already submitted. Class mods can roll a 6 into one particular skill. I had one in my inventory, but I sold it. I'm pretty sure I sold it because I was tired of holding onto it and you need inventory space. Let's see. Not still here, is it? No, I had it marked. I sold it yesterday. I think I have one in my bank to show you. Not that it matters, but I'll travel there and move on to my next thing. Town with a bank. You have a bank. Right? Launchpad. Where's Carcadia? I don't have the names of any of this stuff memorized. Shouldn't they show me the other icons? Oh, it shows me down there. Never mind. Anyway, I'll look and see if I still have this 6 out of 5, but there's purple class mods, and I assume this applies to all class mods, probably legendaries as well. Have a limit of 5 that they can possibly get on a skill, but they can roll a above a 5. I imagine they didn't program a limit to it. There's a limit programmed in your skill tree itself. Jesus Christ. Bank's over here, yeah? No? Where's the bank? Like where? I never go to this town. This is what you get for a supercut and a once through video. Alright, we'll talk about the next thing while we look for this here. So, next thing is the Echo 4 infinite spam. We found the fix for that. I'm gonna go in the menu. I don't even know where this is at. Gameplay. Short. So, the Echo location, path visibility, duration. I don't know why it's programmed like this, but if you program this in short, so the little Echo 4 indicator, it also shortens the cooldown so you can spam it more. I thought the cooldown would be the same here, but it's not the same. Cooldown's longer on medium and even longer on long, and I think that needs to be adjusted. You need to apply the short cooldown for Echo spamming to all of these options. And what else do we got here? The class mods are unweighted for characters. They're gonna talk about possibly trying to find a way to address it. I have a feeling they're not gonna find like the best way to do that, because it might be very hard to program for some reason. It seemed to be like a thing in previous games and what have you. So let's see if we can find a 6. I think I threw 1 in my bank. Just to keep as an example, which I don't think I put on a mule or anything like that. Let's see, do we have a 6 in here? Just to prove that it exists. I got the previous video on my channel actually made to submit the bug to Gearbox. I believe it was on a purple. 555. And I think I shoved 1 in here. I don't think it was on a legendary class mod. I guess it might not be in here. You may have saw it and I may have missed it, but I didn't see it. I don't know what it was. But anyway, these class mods can roll a 6 out of 5 currently. So it should be limited to 5, you know. 5 should be the limit on here, but you can roll a 6 and a 1. And when you put on that class mod that gives you 6 into a particular skill, once you go into your skills, it'll say, say it was this skill. I know this can't roll on comms. If this got a 6 roll on pain reaction and I put it on, it would say 10 out of 10 and it would apply 10 out of 10. So the skill tree has a limit, but the class mods itself need to put the limiter on there so they can't roll above a 5 on particular skills. Let's see. There's a lot of action skill visual effects. Just say the shield here doesn't look so bad, but when you're running around in certain areas, this like visual effect clutter, this is probably like one of the least visually displeasing ones, but it's still pretty bad. And we got a lot of action skills like aim on with the shield that literally blinds you, like covers the whole screen. It's like, hey, let me hit my action seal button, and it's basically like, you know, flash banging your feet for 10 seconds or 20 seconds running around with this thing.
Team check. Welcome to the show.
Oh. I didn't even hit E on this guy.
So the queen is ripped from a throne.
Okay then. Okay, bye. Alright, so the comms are unweighted for characters. Hopefully they'll fix that. The legendary indicators need to kind of go through the Borderlands 3 treatment. So they need to make the beam maybe higher. I know it's annoying and there's a lot of visual stuff, but I think a legendary beam either needs to maybe go to like the sky or like be this tall. Maybe not that tall, but maybe like up to here so you can actually see it. Because anytime you're mobbing, you kill a guy and he dies right here, you will not even see the legendary bar, I swear to God. And it's like impossible to spot them. And all you got is this indicator map at the top where it says the how, the compass, and that'll only show like a very kind of strange star looking thing to indicate a legendary, and it'll only like show up if it's like right here and you're right here. Once you're like this far, the star won't even fucking show up on this compass, so the star goes away. So they need to get the legendary indicators and maybe the beams reworked or rethought, in my opinion. And let's see, so a big deal, and probably the main reason I made this video, and it is a bigger deal. This is not this is not over exaggerating in my opinion, and I know the thought process that Gearbox went through for release, and I'm okay with this staying in for the first quarter of the game until like the first DLC content comes out, or the first major patch or what have you. But enemy scaling, I thought was perfect, because it's like staying to the level of the character, and it's not like, oh, this area is only level 3 enemies, and then this area has 4 to 6, and then over here is like 5 to 7, and then when you go over here it's like 5 to 7, and then it's like 8 to 10. You know, it's not balanced like that. It stays to your character level. But the way they program the video game is they make let's see, this show a completion, mission completion, contact tracks, replay. I guess it would show it here. There's like side quests or whatever. I don't even remember where it's under. The world? I think it's under the world. So there's a progress meter in your gameplay completion of the campaign. I don't even remember which one it is. But there's like a main story completion bar as you're going through the main story quest, and then there's a side quest completion bar. And if those bars get too far, say you're like 44% through the main story and your side quest bar is at like 10%, enemies are gonna be 4, 5, 6 levels above you forever until you hit like 50 UVHM, and it balances. Ideally, I don't even know if it does. You might be running into level 55, level 56 enemies at level 50 UVH1. But if you don't do the side quests, they purposely scale the enemies to be above your level until you move your progress bar of the side quest to be more in line with the story progress bar. And that balance, I know they went out of their way to program that, because they wanted people to do their content that they made. And that's fine for release, but this is a huge issue for the Borderlands community. Any Gearbox developer that watches streams or knows Borderlands content creators, knows people that actually make content, daily content, have been playing this game for thousands of hours. The biggest members of the community, and the whole purpose of Borderlands for a lot of people is doing runs. So they make new characters and they do a run, or they do a challenge run, you know, pistol only or what have you, or action skill only, which is what I'm doing here. And we keep making characters. I've done, you know, over 250, 300 challenge runs in Borderlands 3, and I actually I couldn't even find another challenge run to do that was that I hadn't done before. So I did every run you could possibly think of, manufacturers and, you know, no shooting and blah blah blah, all these weird runs in Borderlands 3, and that's how you get the hours out of it. You do replays, and you do your own restrictions or what have you. This game does not support that the way that they have the enemy scaling. Doing these side quests and being forced to do that is not going to work. Creating a new, like a 30 skip character is not what I'm going to do for any runs or anything like that. But if you do make a level 30 character, you know, you need to give us like the main factions in each map, just to not waste our time and literally drive from here to across the planet and take like 15 minutes of just holding down the drive button, not doing anything. It doesn't, there's no flow there. The scaling around forcing you to do side quests is not right. It's not going to work for doing runs. It's not going to make people want to play the game. You know, Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, you can do all sorts of runs and all different characters. And it was not because it wasn't like an open world, but because they didn't force you to do the side quests and balance the game around side quests. And there's like speed runs and how fast can I do this, and side runs kill the community. Anybody that had replays this game or has its replay value, literally balancing the game around enemy side quest scaling is going to ruin the game. You're gonna go from, it's gonna be like Wonderlands, where your big content creators played it for like a month and they're like, I'm not gonna touch this again. Even though I have, you know, like a couple thousand hours in Wonderlands as well, and did like every challenge run I could possibly do. This game is going to make me not do that. So from a big Borderlands committed player as my main game, you can't. You have to undo the enemy scaling around side quest completion. Let's see, is that, I guess that's like mostly everything. I think there's probably one thing I wanted to do besides the 6 out of 5 to talk about. And there's other issues here and there, but I think that's the big one. So yeah, long ranty video, but it is what it is. So hopefully these aren't complaints, but these are things you need to do to fix the game. The too long didn't read. Suicide or psychos, rippers, kill you through health gate. Stop that. And they kill you from, like, you kill them from, I don't know, however far away, and their grenade will still kill you. Kill him right here, he somehow still one-shots me through health gate with his grenade from over there. That doesn't make any sense. Need to balance that. I think it's the elemental eater, people that heal off elements. Does not fit in the ethos of the game. It needs to be removed and reworked. Completely removed. That doesn't belong there. It just doesn't work. Trust me. It's like saying, let me make a modifier where this enemy is forever immortal and there's no way you'll ever be able to kill them under any circumstances. It's like, what? What are you doing? Grenades need an identity. Purple grenades. So please look at stuff and consider readjusting it. Make the order homing nades apply to the parts of MIRVs. Bouncing MIRVs, come on, can we not have bouncing and have them do something else maybe, or add some other roles or modifiers. Unlock the main hubs on a level 30 character start. Fix the class mods not rolling above a 5, please. Echo 4 cooldown should apply to the long, medium, and the short distance, so we can spam it more. The comms are unweighted, which hopefully they'll do something with. Make it a little bit easier to farm a comm. You kill one boss that drops 1 comm for each character, and then you literally kill him for 6 hours straight, and you get 1 class mod for your class, and it rolls like garbage. And you're like, wonderful. That's the experience I was looking for. Action skills, and not just action skills, but a lot of effects in the game, like blinding players. They had the bosses doing the giant white flashbang on your screen that I think they fixed already, so thank you. The legendary indicators need to be better. Higher beam to the sky is probably the easiest fix you can do. Just double the beam size. Just double it, man. There you go. And don't scale the game around side quests. Just delete that whole code. The way you got it coded, with enemies scaling to your level or a little bit above or a little bit under. Absolutely perfect. And that's all for now, I guess. So thanks for listening and putting up with this rant.